Alright team, we're going to learn how to share a listing on Facebook and then boost that post so we can reach a larger audience. So look, the first thing we need to do is get access to that listing as a website. So here's an example that I've done before. I'm just going to copy the URL here and I'm going to go and paste that into my page. So where it says write something, paste the link, give that a moment. That's going to load up all the images that come through on that page. And I might want to delete these ones here that aren't necessarily relevant, so I will only keep the ones that I actually like. Now the cool thing is that once we've actually connected this URL to the images here, I can delete that and write something a little bit better. So in this case, I might keep the same details here, paste, auction 12th April on site. And then I'm just going to go ahead and publish that. Now that's going to show up straight away on my page, and now I have the option to boost the post. So if I click on boost post, this is going to bring up all the options I've got. Now all of my pre-made audiences that I've made are already here. So for example, my database which I uploaded earlier, I can just click on that and that will share it with all the people connected on my database. But if you haven't made an audience before, it's best to create a new audience. Now you only need to do this every time you need to make a new targeted area, but of course if you're just going to target, for example, the shore, this is very simple. So I might create one that's just on the North Shore. Now you can change your genders and your ages and get really specific, but I recommend that for what we're trying to achieve, we want to reach as many people as possible. So I'd prefer to keep those more open than really targeted for the purpose of this example. Now I might want to just pretend these aren't here and start from scratch. So let's add a location. I can just type in a suburb such as Browns Bay, and then here we go. That's going to create a radius around that area. So at the moment it's 25 miles. I can bring that right into 10 miles and make it a little bit more specific. If I want to target other areas, I might type in Albany, for example, and it might also, here we go, Albany and Auckland, also 10 miles. Now, I wouldn't be too specific about adding too many of these because as you can see, all these areas are covered within that radius, but it does give you a couple of focus areas where most of the marketing will be focused. Now as I scroll on down, you can also do detailed marketing where we can focus on people's interests, etc. But again, for what we're trying to achieve, we don't want to minimize the number of people we want to see. We want to maximize it, so I'm going to leave that open. I'm going to hit save. Alright, the next step is to set the budget. So as we scroll on down, the budget's pretty simple. The more you spend, the more people you're going to reach. My recommendation is usually between $50 and $100 if you're going to do the campaign over about 14 days, is about right. Play with a couple of numbers and see what happens to the estimated total reach. So $50 in my example will reach between 4,000 and 11,000 people. You know, $75 will reach around 6,000 to 16,000 people. So pretty awesome results for pretty cheap. The question is, how much do you want to spend and how long do you want the ad to go for? So I might choose to run this ad for the next 7 days. And of course, it's all a balance between frequency in terms of how many times the people will see the ad and also the number of people that will see the ad in the first place. So for example, if I only put a budget at $10, you'll notice I might reach 870 people to 2,000 people, but those people will probably only see the ad once. Now if I made that $100, I'm going to reach more people, but they're also going to see the ad more times. So of course we know that the more times people see the ad, the more likely they are to obviously be reminded of it. So play around with that, and once we're happy with that, you obviously need to put in your credit card, very simple to do, and then click boost and you're away.